Very good morning, everybody, and a very happy new year to you all of you children and to all of the staff in school this morning. And welcome back to the very first day of our spring term in school. So how are you? How are you, everybody? How are you really? How was Christmas? I really hope, teachers and staff, that you'll make time today for the children to share with you some of their highlights of Christmas. It's been a Christmas like no other, and I know that we haven't been able to go and see the people that we normally go to see, but I really hope that you manage to find ways to experience the comfort and joy that is the festive season. I certainly did. We've had a lovely Christmas. But I'm very glad to be back at school today. I hope you feel the same. You might have felt a little bit anxious about coming back, and that's just really normal, isn't it? So for you, it's the 4th, Monday the 4th of January. And as always at this time of year, we're going to be thinking about how to make this year even better than any other year. And maybe, like me, you had as one of your Christmas presents, you might have had a new calendar. This is our family calendar for this year. And I really like this one. It was chosen by my husband because it looks at a seaside village and how the seaside village changes throughout the year. So I'll keep showing you the pictures as they move on. So let's have a look at the very first page of 2021. So it hangs up on my wall like this, so I can see all the days and I can write down things that are important. And here's our first picture showing, it looks like a family out walking. I haven't got my glasses on, but I think there's some cows and a dog and a beautiful farmhouse and a lovely wintry bright sky. So we'll see how the pictures on our 2021 calendar develop. Now, it might be that you are used to, at this time of year, making what we call resolutions, New Year resolutions. Or it might be that you've never made a New Year's resolution before in your lives if you're in year 1 and year 2. But it's something that I'd like to have a think about today and this week. I'm going to be telling you tomorrow about my resolutions, my New Year's resolutions. But to help you understand today about, what a resolution is and the kind of thing that you might choose for your resolution, I'm going to tell you a story, or I'm going to try to tell you a story. And I've found some little things to help me tell my story. And you might have some of these. I'm going to use some Sylvanian Families characters. These were Elisa's when she was a little girl, and I just love them so much that I can't quite bring myself to give them away yet. So they're going to help me to tell the story today. And today's story, I'm going to switch the camera around in a moment, is all about a woodland animal who has never made a resolution before, and she doesn't really know how to. So she asks for help from other creatures that she lives with in the Sylvanian world. And eventually she realises that making a resolution is easy. The hard part is actually doing it. So I'm going to flip my camera around and introduce you to our characters. So the main character in our story today, here she is. Now, so this is Squirrel. And it's the 1st of January and Squirrel wakes up and bounces out of bed, really excited because it's the first day of 2021 and she's heard lots of people talking about making New Year's resolutions. And she has a calendar just like mine, except hers is a squirrel version. And I like to think that maybe on her calendar she's got not pictures of villagers. She might have, what would she have on a squirrel's calendar? Maybe pictures of nuts and berries and her favourite woodland creatures on every month of the year. So she's looking at her calendar and she thinks, I need to make a resolution, but I just don't know how. But I do know who might. I need to go to see the wisest person that I know, and that's Bear. And Bear works in the local library. So she trots down into the town and meets Bear. Bear, she says excitedly, I want to make a New Year's resolution. I've never made one before. It's my very first one. Is it like making a snack? Bear laughed to himself. It's not like making a snack at all, Squirrel child. It's much harder than making a snack. Making a resolution is a serious business. You need to choose something that you want to do this year that will improve yourself. You can think of lots of things, different things that you might want to do. Something new, you might choose to learn something new, or you might choose to use something that you're good at to help other people. Thought Squirrel. Something I'm good at. I'm not sure what I'm good at. Bear, have you made your own resolution? Oh, yes, said Bear. My New Year's resolution is that I am going to teach all the forest animals to read. Well, that's a great resolution. Who are you going to teach first? Bear thought about it. Well, I really want to teach Badger because she's been really keen to learn to read for a long time. But unfortunately, Badger's poorly at the moment. Oh no, said Squirrel. Badger's my friend and she's poorly. I need to go and visit her. So Squirrel hopped off to Badger's house and found, just like Bear had said, that Badger was poorly in bed and feeling very, very sorry for herself. Hi, Badger, said Squirrel. Hi, Squirrel, said Badger. I feel terrible. I really want to get started with my New Year's resolution. Oh, what's your New Year's resolution? Said Squirrel. My New Year's resolution is I really want to learn to read. It looks such fun, and then I can learn so much more. And someone once said to me, the more you read, the cleverer you get. Oh, I think that was Mrs. Scardifield at school, Badger, said Squirrel. So Squirrel thought how she could cheer Badger up, and she did what she did best, which was played hide and seek. She hid beneath the bedposts and jumped up and said boo, at which point Badger began to laugh. Squirrel carried on trying to cheer Badger up, and by the end of half an hour, Badger was sitting up in bed. I wonder if I can do that. Let's see. Oh, there, look. Badger was sitting up in bed, and Squirrel had made her laugh so much that Dr. Elephant, here he is, another wise character, came and knocked at the door. Well, Badger, said Elephant, it seems to me that you're getting much, much better. It's good to see you sitting up in bed. I think you're ready to get up and dressed and on with your year and on with starting your New Year's resolution. Just get yourself a nice hot meal first before you set off. OK, said Badger. That's great, said Squirrel. So Squirrel set off. She left Badger and she set off through the woods and to go to the diner to get the hot meal. And as she was travelling there, she came across these two. So these are Mrs. Cow and Mrs. Raccoon. Look at them, aren't they beautiful? And here's Squirrel. And Squirrel said, oh, hi, you two. Hi. I've been really trying to think about a New Year's resolution. Have you two made any New Year's resolution? Oh, yes. Moo, said Mrs. Cow. Yeah, we have, said Mrs. Raccoon. We've got a great resolution. We've decided that we want to plant a garden. Wow, said Squirrel. That's just such a great resolution. That will really help because by planting flowers and trees, you'll attract lots of wildlife and the bees and the butterflies and you'll help everybody. Yes, said Mrs. Cow. The problem is, Squirrel, that we can't find the right place to plant our garden with all these trees around. Well, said Squirrel, that is no problem. I know exactly what to do. And with that, she scooted up the nearest tree and climbed right to the very top and had a good look round the forest area. I can see just the right place, down by the creek, just by the river, just below the bridge. There's a lovely flat area there which would make a perfect garden for you. Oh, thanks, said Mrs. Cow. Thanks very much, said Mrs. Raccoon, and they set off with their digging equipment to plant their new garden. Well, Squirrel headed on to the diner. And who should... Oh, stand up, Mr. Hedgehog. Here he is. Who should she meet there but Mr. Hedgehog? I love Mr. Hedgehog. Have a look at him there. And Mr. Hedgehog was sitting at the diner, looking rather glum. Oh, said Squirrel, what's wrong, Hedgehog? Mr. Hedgehog said, oh, I've been trying with this resolution, but I just can't seem to get it right. Well, what is it? Said Squirrel. What have you decided to do? What have you decided to improve about yourself? Well, people have been telling me all last year that I'm really, really grumpy. So I've decided that I need to have a better sense of humour and to laugh more and to enjoy life more. Oh, said Squirrel, that's a really, really good resolution, Hedgehog. I could help you with that. How about some jokes? Oh, yes, said Hedgehog, that'd be brilliant. Do you know any? Let me think, said Squirrel. And she thought, and eventually she said, I've got one. Why did the squirrel keep on crossing the road over and over again? Said Hedgehog. I don't know. Why did the squirrel keep on crossing the road over and over again? Because she was nuts, said the squirrel. And the pair of them laughed and laughed, and Mr. Hedgehog almost fell off his stool. Oh, that's brilliant, Squirrel. You've really, really got me going there. I think I can write some more jokes down and I can tell them to people and really, really cheer them up. Thanks. And off he went. So here we have Squirrel. And Squirrel, so far, has spoken to Bear. And she's spoken to Badger. And she's cheered Badger up. So much so that the doctor said that Badger could go on with her day and her year. She's helped Mrs. Cow and Mrs. Raccoon to find the perfect place to plant their garden. And she's also helped Mr. Hedgehog to think of some fun things to do to cheer himself up. She was left speaking to Rabbit. Rabbit owned the diner and could see that Squirrel was still feeling a little bit glum. What's the matter, Squirrel? You look really sad. Why don't you try my New Year's special to cheer you up? Oh, that'd be lovely, said Squirrel. The thing is, Rabbit, I just can't think of a New Year's resolution. I can't think of what I can do to improve myself. Said Rabbit. Well, it seems to me like you're doing a pretty good job, Squirrel. Remember what Bear said? You can start to do something new, or you can use the things that you're good at to help other people. And you've really done that this week, haven't you, Squirrel? You helped Badger to feel better by cheering her up because you're really good at that. You used your skill for climbing the trees to help Mrs. Cow and Mrs. Raccoon to find the perfect place to plant their garden. And you helped Mr. Hedgehog by coming up with some great ideas to make people laugh. So, Squirrel, I think you've done a really great job. Well, Squirrel was thrilled to hear that from Rabbit. And she was thrilled that Rabbit had thought that she had made a good start to her resolutions. She decided it was going to be a very good year. There we go. That story was called Squirrel's First Ever New Year's Resolution. So tomorrow I'll share with you my resolutions, but again, I hope that you have a chance to speak in class this week about what you're going to do to improve yourself or to help other people. So I'll give you some starting points for some ideas tomorrow, but the first thing that you need to do today, the only thing that you need to do is try your best. Really try to get all the very best out of your lessons, and then you will have a really good day. And if you can't think of any other resolution, then that is the perfect one. I will try my best. And I will try my best to be the very best head teacher that you can be. And all your teachers and all these staff in school will try their very best to be the best teachers and the best adults in our school to help you all. So you need to do your part of that and try your best too. So I'll be looking out for that today. Children trying their absolute best. So have a brilliant first day back at school, everybody. And I'll see you round and about, and I'll see you for tomorrow's assembly, and I'll share with you some of my resolutions for 2021. So have a lovely day, everyone. See you soon. Bye.